Well, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. And as always, it's a pleasure to be back on CAN TV one more day, one more week, and one more Thursday. Just checking in for a brief moment, but just to say thank you all for the calls that you've given us last week, for those that we had talked to over the phone. I'm hoping that many of you are joining us tonight, but we did have a chance to talk to some folks as we did some independent marketing and branding through our guests of last week and some of the topics that we've been facing. Currently, we've been having a lot of discussions in the community on some issues that I'm going to hopefully share with you tonight. And if we get our pop-up visitor tonight, we would like to share that with you. But in the interim of time, we just came over from doing an event on the corner of Monroe and Springfield. And we've been doing our work with the 11th District to try to reduce some of the senseless violence on that corner because that whole area is going through what we may call a renaissance, in that we're bringing in new businesses, bringing in different programs, schools, and other activities to build back up that West Garfield Park. So we had an opportunity to do a major meeting on the corner outreach. You call it a pop-up. But I just want to let you know, those who are on the west side of Chicago, we are still pressing forward to make your life a lot easier and to do our due diligence to bring some real wholesome activities for you and your family. We know you've been going through a lot, and we just want you to know that we care, we're here. And if you need some additional information about some of the activities we're doing in the community, please give Fathers Who Care a call at 773-287-5821, or you can log on to www.fatherswhocare.org. There's so many other social media outlets that our young people have out there for us. They got the West Garfield Park outlet, they got the Twitter, they got the TikTok, they got all of those new social things going on. I'm just still familiar with Facebook and Instagram. But I'm trying to grow and I'm trying to learn some of those social media channels and outlets that our young people are dealing with. But we don't want to talk to you specifically tonight about what's going on the west side of Chicago, what's going on specifically in West Garfield Park. West Garfield Park is currently what they may call under construction through the South and West initiatives that was brought about through our former mayor. So resources have been pouring into the west side of Chicago in the Alston community, North Lawndale community, West Humboldt Park community, West Garfield Park community, East Garfield Park community. North Lawndale specifically has been building up well, they've been down, but they have been building up rapidly right now. And you need to get by there and check out some of the new things going on up and down 16th Street. You would be amazed. Madison, we're going through the renaissance right now of trying to build up new properties. We do have a wellness center coming up on Madison and Kildare. It's called Sankofa Village that we're creating over in that area. We've got the Ma'afa group, with one of my former ministers of our church, who's building up that initiative. So it's so much going on that we want those who are watching to know that we are working together to really bring social change into our community. But we're really putting a special emphasis on young folks, young people, if you will. So I want to share with you a few things that's going on. We got an internship program. We got a MySpace drop-in program. The internship program has been going on for some time, and so we're on the back end of that. But our MySpace drop-in center, that's talking about life skills, they're talking about workshops and homework assignments and games, Zoom meetings, field trips, you name it, the young folks are involved in it. They're meeting every Thursday. We also had a meeting this evening from 4 to 6. So it's so much going on. We had provided stipends for those young folks. And so right now we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for other opportunities where we can empower these young people. We really believe at Fathers Who Care that young people can't be what they can't see. So in order for our young people to try to refrain from becoming parents too soon, engaging in illegal substance use and abuse, in order to get young people developed and through peer leadership, through college tours, mentoring, employment opportunities, and you name it. In order for that to happen for our young people, we really have to bring some options to these young people. So we need to bring youth summits. We need to bring parental involvement. Most of all, we need to have our community healing circles back, where folks can come in as they are, and may have some issues going on in their community, or they may have some issues going on at home. They need to get to some place where somebody cares. So we want you to know that at Fathers Who Care, we're committed to empowering you, your children, and your extended family members. All you have to do is give us a call again at 773-287-5821. 888-5821. So now I really want some help. So I'm going to lean on you all today to give me a little help. Currently, what we're trying to do in some of our community action events and some of the school-based programming. And thank you, Austin High School and Dr. Morgan. Thank you, Dr. Morgan, for the meeting that we had yesterday and for allowing Fathers Who Care to come into the school to provide much needed intervention and support. So one of our objectives in the school would be to create entrepreneurship programs for the young people, to create a life skill development, mental health assistance, referrals, whatever type of assistance that our young people need in the Austin High School. We're there to do what we can. We want you also to know, those who are watching, that Fathers Who Care need able mentors. We need able mentors. We need program coordinators. We need community outreach workers. We need communication specialists. We need grant writers. We need those to come together with us as we work together to try to do what we can to build up our community. We're trying to do what we can to bring additional support and possibly different resources to the community. But most of all, we really want to empower our young people to believe outside of the box. I want to thank those that we had the opportunity of working with, particularly Ann and some of the others at the Chicago Yacht Club. Thank you for the experiences that the young people experienced this summer. We know fall is up on us now, so now we're working on trying to do our next event, major event, is our annual Thanksgiving event. This would be the 9th year of that, and we're looking for folks who would like to come out and volunteer as we feed those who are less fortunate. We have been doing a lot of work with the coalition on tent cities or homelessness over on Chicago Avenue, over in the parks, and we want you to help us to help these young people and those who are homeless on Canal and Taylor. We want you to help us to bring some much needed resources and support to the homeless community, because we don't know how the winter might impact us, but we know the winter is coming. And we don't want to see anyone that's out in those elements. We know resources are being available, and from what I heard, millions of dollars are owed for those who are moving in from various different places. We have a tendency to call them immigrants. Oh, that's what's been said they are. They're human. Of course they're human, and they definitely need a better way of life as opposed to where they came from. So I believe that we all can collectively work together to empower each other. So let's do what we can to be a support system, to be the help, to show the love, to show the compassion for those who are less fortunate. But also let's make sure, this is important to me, let's make sure that we spend much needed resources on our children in our people of color's community. They need your help. They need the resources in order to kind of assimilate, if you will, to grow, if you will, to provide them with different options. They need the resources, they need the support, they need the leadership, they need the ongoing training in order to be good citizens. And we know that they can be good citizens because we are good citizens. So I want to talk to you about that for a second, about our program that we call Impact Identities. This program is dedicated to the young people and their parents. So we're asking those parents that have children between the ages of 12 to 24. We have different cohorts that are working, the younger ones and the older ones, but we also are bringing them together with youth summits. So we got an activity coming up on the 20, I think it's the 27th of next week, where our young people will be coming together to do their Wednesday meeting. I think it's the 26th or the 27th. Forgive me for the wrong date. But after which they'll be going to White Sox Park for a game. And then after which they'll be coming back and they'll be doing a movie night. And they're going to have some additional fun. So we just want to bring additional opportunities to our young people. We're looking for trainers in the areas of life skills, mental health, and substance abuse training. We want those individuals to come in. Hopefully you can come in and do some work for us pro bono so that we can help some of these young people who might be experiencing trauma, post-traumatic stress, who might be having anger issues. I remember talking to a young person before, and they told me that they got anger issues going on. And so I took it to myself to say that this young person is communicating. That person may not be able to articulate exactly what they're going through, but by saying they're experiencing some anger issues, that tells me that that young person was in need of some immediate intervention. So I think that we need to have the referrals. So we got Dr. Sorrell from Rush Hospital. We had Dr. Jasmine from the Chicago Department of Public Health, the Office of Behavioral Health. So we had different individuals who were coming together to bring much needed resources to not only our young people, but to their extended family members. But I want to talk to you specifically about what can we do to really bring about change in our community. I believe that we can bring about change if we come together, if we pool our resources, if we understand that we can't make it alone, that we need each other. And in these trying times, things are going on all over the world. But I have to speak truth to power. I believe, and hear me closely, I believe if we can invest hundreds of millions and billions of dollars into other countries, which I'm not trying to get into the political part of that, but if we can invest hundreds of billions of dollars in other places, let's invest those millions and billions of dollars here at home to empower these young people. If we don't empower these young people are going to result to fighting, carjacking, going downtown, tearing up the stores, and all kind of mishaps and other things that's coming up where they're engaging in illegal drugs and they're out there selling drugs and they're doing all kind of things that parents don't want their children to do. But when people are hurt people hurt people. So what we're trying to do is address some of the social ills of this epidemic that we have with violence in our community. We talked about the pandemic, where COVID is back. Well, it may not be back as it used to be, but COVID never left. So we've been educating people to understand that you continuously have to protect yourself. You have to practice social distancing. You have to understand that there's different variants out here. Some say they don't believe. You're entitled to whatever you want to believe. However, I'm saying to you from science says that there's a new variant out here, and these variants are out here hospitalizing people. So I'm saying to you, make sure you get checked out. It's about that time for folks to kind of get the flu shots. There should be this new shot or booster shot, if you will, that's supposed to come out from this week from the FDA and the CDC. So if those shots come out, and I'm sure they will, do your due diligence, those who need it, to get into touch with your physician and inquire as to if you can get either the flu shot or the booster shot for the variant. But make sure that you're involved in protecting your health. Now let's move on down the road. We was talking about what can we do to pool our resources to promote a safe, healthy, and drug-free community. Excuse me. I believe the way we can pool our resources is if we shop in our communities. If we shop in our communities and we demand that those who have business in our community reinvest some of those dollars into the community, which is called community engagement, we believe that if monies are flipped over into our communities can grow. For those that I'm referring to as far as pooling your resources, for all of these organizations who are out here working to reduce violence, to empower our young folks, to provide entrepreneurship training, whatever those programs and services you provide, thank God for you. However, if we bring our resources back together, we won't be so needed or so indebted, if you will, to other folks that put so many requirements on the monies that they give you. Not telling you not to get the grants and proposals and funds that are available, but when we get those funds, let's pool those resources together so that we can really continue to build our communities. Pooling resources brings additional resources and activities into the community, different opportunities, different business ventures that we can continue to sustain ourselves and our community. And then when our young people are looking, they're looking and seeing themselves. They're looking and seeing people like themselves. They're seeing businessmen and businesswomen coming out of the community, as opposed to them young people only seeing folks that are creating terror and deteriorating our community. So I say, if you need additional information on what I'm talking about or what we can do to help each other, I suggest you give us a call at 773-287-5821. That's the number to Fathers Who Care. Call and ask to speak to any staff member. If you need me, just ask for Reverend Jones. They'll get you over there to me. But there's other folks that'll be calling. You got Chester, you got Shalindra, you got Vernisha, you got Shamira, you got Richard. You got different people who can help you and would love to work with your children. So we're going to encourage you again, let's exercise the power of love. Through love, all things are possible. Through love, we can forgive and forget some of the ills of the past. Through love, we can bring this broken community back together. Through love, we can look beyond people's faults and see their needs. Through love, we can step out on faith and know that if we work together, there's nothing too hard for what we can do. I mean, we believe in God, we believe in faith, that is great. And I do believe that God helps those who help themselves. So I'm saying to you, let's work together to bring about real systemic social change in our community. It can be done, it must be done, and we are the people to get it done. So let's move on and talk about what's going on in the community. Now, I understand that the Legger Library on Pulaski is getting a lot of renovation. The hot spot that we've been working to close down liquor stores on the corner of Jackson and Pulaski, thank you, team, that liquor store is closed. All of the traffic, drug trafficking that was going on in the lot behind the liquor store, that lot has been fenced in, so they can't hang out in that lot anymore. The house where they were selling the drugs out of has been demolished. So that area is now on the upswing right off of Jackson and Pulaski and back going east towards Hamlin. So that whole area is on the way up. What are some other areas? We had some stores, particularly on Madison, who are allowing young people to loiter in front of the stores and allowing young people to shoulder tap older folks and get these older individuals to go into the store and purchase alcohol for young people. And we know that that is wrong. And so what I'm encouraging you all to do to help me help our children so that we can really bring about real change. Now, we do know we have a new senator in our community. We did have Senator Patricia Van Pelt. She was the senator of the 5th District. Well, I'm here to let you know that we do have a new senator. Her name is Lakeisha Collins. So Lakeisha Collins, who was the former rep of the 9th District, she's now the senator of the 5th District. So one of these days we want to inquire and bring her out to do a show with us. It may be with our group, or it might be with some of our young people. The West Garfield Park Youth Council, they'll be bringing on a mighty group of young people who will be coming into, and some elders who will be coming in to talk about the good things that's going on in the community. I also want to talk to you about what's currently going on with Malcolm X College. Our friend and confidant, Dr. David Sanders, who's the president and CEO of Malcolm X College, has a campus right there on Madison and Kenton, which is like 4624 West Madison. They're getting ready to expand that satellite site. They already have the main campus at 1900 West Jackson, and they're encouraging young people of color to join them, to come on and get some of these opportunities they call Fresh Start, where it may be some opportunities to forgive some of your prior scholarships or commitments to paying those scholarships back if you was loaned some of the loans that you owe. Well, anyway, he also is going to expand the satellite site on Madison in that area so that we can bring in more students, more community residents, and more people. And I'm so proud to know that Dr. Sanders is doing his due diligence to help people of color. That means people of color, Latinos and African Americans. So that's a place that we know that folks can come in and get the additional resources that are needed, and they can do what they need to do to maximize their options. Education is the key. Education is the way that we can change our way of lives from living in poverty to living in a better environment. If you're saying from low class to middle class. But I thank all of those who have been working with us, and I want to share some very, very important news. Thank you, Alderman Mitz. Alderman Mitz is the alderman of the 37th Ward, and she's the chairwoman of the West Side Black Elected Officials. And she, along with some of the other aldermen, state reps, senators, congressmen, and the like, has worked tediously with the federal government to bring much needed resources to our community, specifically in the Austin community, as a result of the flood back in July. So for those who experienced some flooding, Alderman Mitch shared with me that it's okay that I let you know that she's having a community meeting, and her community meeting is on the 26th of, what is that? She got one coming up. She got one going on tonight, but she got another one coming up on the 26th of October. And she wants you all to know that she will have folks at her meeting to talk about the flooding. She will have folks at the meeting of FEMA folks and different other people to talk about the application process. There's also a FEMA center at Columbus Park, right off Central and Adams. So for those who need additional information about those services, get in touch with your alder people and let them know you would like to have the number, the website, to how to get in touch with FEMA. FEMA is moving rather rapidly on the west side of Chicago, and now they're also moving in the suburbs, particularly Calumet City and surrounding areas, to address some of the issues of the flood. So back to the talk. If you need some additional assistance and support, if you have young people, teenagers, who would like to get involved with other young people, we encourage you to give us a call at Father Sukera at 773-287-5821. Again, the number is 773-287-5821. It's our pleasure to serve. We would like to be a blessing to you and to your young people. You have not when you ask not. And so we will encourage you, those who are interested in joining us, we need volunteers. We need other folks that we can do some grant writing. We need project directors. We need youth mentors, male and female. We need outreach workers. We need those who are committed to social change. We need those who want to come together and do some research. We need those who want to come together and empower the mothers, empower the fathers, empower our babies. We can make it happen. We got to make it happen. It cannot happen without us. So I want to encourage you to join our team. Join Fathers Who Care. Join the Responsible Fatherhood mentoring program. Join our Westside Men's Group. Our Westside Men's Group meets every third Friday at MacArthur's Restaurant, where we bring in men from all walks of life all over the West Side and surrounding suburbs. Join our West Garfield Park Gap Builders. The Gap Builders is a group of folks like myself who come together to address the concerns of violence in our community, and that meeting is dedicated to us bridging the gap between the superintendent of police and the community. So we got a new superintendent who should be voted in either this week or next week or whenever the city council meet, but I think it would be either this week or next week or week after. But we do have recommendations from the district council and others who have put forth the name who will be nominated or voted on for the new superintendent of the city of Chicago. So I want to encourage those of you who are watching, if you're really interested in making a difference in our community, if you're really interested in reducing substance abuse, gang violence, teen dating violence, if you're really interested in youth having an opportunity, our young people being able to make it to the next level, matriculating to something better, if you really want to work with us to build a safer, stronger, more vibrant community to reduce some of the plights of ill that we have in our neighborhood, give us a call at 773-287-5821. Log on to fatherswhocare.org. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to do, how you want to do it. Most importantly, understand that we're in it to win it, and we can't do it by ourselves. In closing, remember, you can go fast alone, but you can go far together. I'll repeat that. You can go fast alone, but you can go far together. Listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank CAN TV again for all the good work that they're doing to keep nonprofit organizations on the air. I want to thank all of you who have been committed to social change and community empowerment. And I want you to know, if no one else tell you, God loves you. I love you. It's nothing too hard for God. We can do this thing. It ain't new to us, and it ain't new to me, because I'm true to this. And I'm going to do what I have to do to make real change in our neighborhood, to bring about real community change with our young people. Our young people can't be what our young people can't see. So if we want our young people to live out their best lives, help a young person to take it to the next level. God bless you. God keep you. And we look forward to seeing you next week. I know I should be traveling to Florida to do a meeting with some of the national leaders in Miami. We are all convening in Florida, so you'll have a guest speaker or a guest host next week. So God bless you, and we'll see you next time we see you. Until then, God bless you and God keep you. Good night.